Hello everyone, this is Debbie and welcome to my channel Ridiculous Goodness, and today we're going to do the weekly guidance reading for December 19th through the 25th, and we're using two card decks. One is the China Tarot the artwork is done by Doreen and it's published by Lo Scarabeo. And we're also using the Saints and Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And actually, just for the cover illustration, it's by Ed Taldiello. And so I'll get 3 cards from the China Tarot. And as usual, I have prayed over the cards, just asking that whatever message we need will come through, and it'll just confirm all the things that, that we already know, but it's just will help us to know even more that, we're right on track. Okay, and I'll get 2 cards from the Saints and Angels Oracle. Oop, going all over the place. Alright, so we have the Knight of Swords. I'll just show you the cards really quick for each one. And we have the Tower, so it's 16. And we have the Six of Wands. And we have the Marriage card from she's Saint Catherine of Alexandria. And we have Higher Education, and it's a Guardian Angel. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Marriage card. So I'm noticing a lot of red in this card, and it kind of reminds me of the root chakra, and it's kind of like talking of a marriage of energy, something that's trying to ground you and trying to get all of you in order, but of course just grounding you in a way that that we haven't really, that we've been working on for a long time, but it's going to continue to get even stronger. And this is a continued process, so this is something that's more energetic. But I'm bringing up, it's a marriage card, so maybe that's the most obvious thing is oh well, if somebody's thinking of that, but that's not what I'm feeling for us, and I'm just feeling it's more energetic and just something, once again, that's grounding us and helping us to have more ability to use our energy in a more efficient way, instead of it's kind of making sure there's no leaks of energy, and it just all is managed well and is put forth in a way that you want it to be used, and that will, and even if it's kind of with things in life, that sometimes things happen in life that you try to make something happen and it doesn't happen the way you thought it would. And if you're open to it, then you can see all the good things that did happen from not doing the exact thing that happened that you were wanting to happen, and it actually happened in a better way, and it didn't work. Once again, it didn't work out the way you thought it would, and you put a lot of effort to try to get it that way, but it just didn't work out that way. But it actually turned out a lot better. If you see that, or you try to see that, then it'll work out a lot better. And that's kind of what the energy goes out, and your energy goes out and does things to help you in the long run. And like the effort that you put into trying to make things happen is not lost. It makes a difference. If you didn't try to do the things you did, and if you just didn't do anything at all, then nothing would happen. But your energy is working for you, and it will help you to create things in your life that you want. And of course, if you're wanting to have a relationship, whether it's just like any kind of relationship in your life, or actually going on into actually finding someone that you want to be with, whether you actually get married or not, it is possible, because the things that you're doing, even if they don't have anything to do with your love life or your relationships, they still make, if you keep on going and doing things, eventually you will meet the people that you want, meet sometimes people are interested in like having various relationships, like one at it, just being with one person at a time, but just trying to like figure out who they are, and also like getting to know people. But the people that want long-term relationships, there's like that's still the same thing. Like you still have the energy, you're still putting the energy into your other things, and you're doing things that are helping yourself and getting you towards whatever you're wanting to do with your life. And eventually you will meet people that, or I'm talking about relationships in general, but there are people that are concerned about finding the one or something like that. But I'm not really like too keen on that. But it's just having like just in general relationships, meeting new people that can be friends, or just helping you to find like, well, basically friendships, different kinds of friendships that are deep and important. Or sometimes there's people that you meet that you don't spend too much time in their life, but then you move on. They're still your friend, but it's still like more short term, and like if you get to see them again, that would be awesome. But then it's just very complicated, and trying to get it all out, it can be very difficult, as you can see. But I'm trying to just put it in a way it's like at first it was starting like like it was like a polyamorous relationship or something. I was like, oh, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. That's okay if somebody's into that. But I'm trying to talk about different kinds of friendships that you'll have in your life. And of course, the romantic relationships, that if that's what you want, then those are available. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was energetically that, because that's the important thing to build up to get to the point where you do meet people that you want to meet in your life. So that's why I was trying to, it's like all that build up to get to this point, and also just to make sure that the energetic part of it is very important to do that. So that's why I talked about first, and then the other part second, or whatever you would want to put it at a number. But anyways, that seems to be it for this moment. So we have the higher education card, and that's also having to do with energetically, like not, you of course are learning, that you can go to school and learn, or you can just be reading different books, different things online. But all of those are important, and they take time to do it, and you do end up meeting new people while you're trying to get the information that you want. And if you didn't go out and try to search for more information, like whether going to a bookstore or actually like going to school or something like that, or whatever, wherever you can get, more information about things, then, even if you don't always meet new people, like eventually you do. But the most important thing, of course, is to do things for yourself, first of all, and know that you're always in a relationship with yourself, trying to figure out, who you are and what you really like, and what, the different ways that you are, like, the different parts of your personality, and enjoying your, like, inner world, and be able to enjoy, like, if you have, think out in your, you kind of hear your own voice in your mind and thinking the thoughts that you think, that you can enjoy that. And of course, sometimes just relaxing or meditating if you need to, but just being able to enjoy spending time with yourself. And of course, keep on learning, because it's a constant process. And so it's just something that we're all, like I say, we're always doing. So that's, these are very important things. And we, of course, have the Knight of Swords. There's just so much, like, energy going on here. And he's, like, ready to go into, like, battle, or just, like, maybe having a, like a sparring kind of fight. So just, like, it just seems like so much is going on. Like, I'm trying to see what it's like. The energy is flowing, and it's kind of just behind you, so it's kind of like not to worry about it, like, not to worry about what's going behind the scenes kind of thing, but it's like behind you. And whatever this energy can be for you, like, whether it's not necessarily negative or anything like that, or positive, it's just something that's there. It's just lots of things going on in the background, and he's not paying attention to it. He just keeps going. He's not, like, in a literal battle, but I mean, obviously it looks like in a card, but, it just, going on and taking action. Like the Knight, the Knight of Swords is, taking actions, being, having his training being used. And so it's just kind of like not letting all the things that are going on around you get, like, just don't let it distract you. Just pay attention to the now, pay attention to what's in front of you. But of course, it's more than that. But, of course, pay attention to this. You're going to, no matter what, you're going to have some kind of like a peripheral view of everything. But it's basically, you'll know the things that you need to know that's going on in the background that you need to know in the now. But just pay attention to what's in front of you all the same time, because it's basically like alerts going on in your mind, or you'll just get it naturally, or it'll come in the way that you get it. So it's kind of just staying in the moment, and knowing that you'll get the information that you need. And it's just it's very much like, don't let the anxiety get to you. Just pay attention to what you're doing. So it needs to be said, and I know I said it a lot, but I guess it just needs to be said that way. And so we have the Tower card, the Major Arcana number 16, and it's just saying that, that we go and the places, all the different things that we do, we find that, they're not always, what they're built on is not very stable, but we are, like, taking action to making sure that anything that, doesn't belong in our life, that is not stable in our lives, that we try to, we don't just, like, keep building on top of it. We find different solutions to take care of it. But other people that, there can be different kind of businesses where you work or something like that, but it's more than that. It's just more like different places you go, they all have their own problems, and you can't always help everybody, but you can help yourself. And it's just the energy around different people or around different places, don't like let it get to you that, oh, these people have problems. Like, well, everyone has problems. It's not about judging people. It's also just, knowing that there's different things that you can't always do about it, but it's not just any one person usually, but most people, are just doing their best. And even if this basically just knowing that everything that you feel, like, take notice of it, but it's not about like judging everyone. It's like, oh, it's all these people don't understand or something like that, or they keep doing the same things over and over or something like that. And it's like, don't let yourself to get into judgment over other people, instead of just seeing yourself like what you need to do and do that. And other times when you're going out, you don't want to just get jaded and say, no, I don't want to go out anymore, because every time I do, I come home all tired, and I'm just tired of people treating me badly, and then I'm not able to do anything, that I can't be myself there, or just basically don't, people may treat others badly, they may treat you badly, but you just let them be. But when you need to say something, you will. But other people, and when you're around groups of people and they're they're disorganized, like if you're going to an organization, or most people would talk about work, but it could be anything. I'll just say some kind of organization that is supposed to help people, but are very disorganized at times. But it's something like that. It doesn't have to be that for you, but I'm just using that as an example. And just to say, like, the people there, we all have our own problems, and so just pay attention to what you can do, and don't feel like you have to try to save the world or anything like that. I mean, we all, we can all say that we're like superheroes, but it's more than that. You don't just go around trying to save people. You just try to help yourself, and opportunities will come that you can help people, but just be mindful about it, and don't jump into every situation that you feel like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. Like, well, do you have to do it? Do you have to say anything, or will it work itself out? There's been so many situations where, I just saw, things, I could have said something, but it worked itself out. If you just, it's like, I actually chose not to say anything, and in that case, it worked itself out. It didn't need my interference, and that's the best thing, because sometimes it's just between the people that are doing it, and they need to work it out. If you stop it, then it's not going to help things. It's just going to make things worse and add more tension. There's certain situations, yes, you have to step in, that doesn't have anything to do with yourself, but most of the time, you don't. Most of the time, it's like, if it involves you, then you do, but you know better when there's something that you need to get involved in. But I'm just saying, if there's something that you're not sure about, you're like, I could have done something. It's like, well, did you need to? Did you see it for yourself that it worked itself out? Like, you need to have discernment of just seeing that, yes, like, just have the wisdom to know when and where to do something, to not try to see yourself as like something better than other people, to know that they can take care of their own situations. There's only some times when you need to step in, but that's pretty rare, because like if there's something that needs your help, like most of the time, like, or at least ask, but for future notice. But it's just very difficult because it's case by case, and that's what I try to go through, and what I've been trying to do, why it made it so difficult sometimes to like to speak up, just in my videos, just in this situation, because there's so many different situations that we all go through, and I want to make it as, I want it to, correlate with your lives and my life and what I've seen in my life, and, we all deal with different things, so I know I just wanted to say it like this, like, that we go through so much, and this Tower card is, talking, like, this is a very big message, and just talking about so much, and to building on top of each other, just like this tower. This whole message has been like that, so I'm just trying to, like, take some breaths and trying to, like, say, like, wow, this is, like, just like this tower here, and that's, so much built upon each other, because our lives, has so many layers to us. We have so much that are going on in our lives that we don't always know in the moment, and then we look back and we're like, wow, we went, like, I get it more, and you look back again and you're like, oh, I got more from it, I understand better now, and then it keeps going. You keep understanding more about your life and about who you are, and, that's what I was trying to talk about in the marriage card, like, not just feeling like you need somebody else in your life, not because you don't deserve, other people in your life, and it's just that you need to know that you're, like, important too, and to yourself, to getting the things that you need, and getting the love that you need. You're the one that needs to love yourself first of all, and I know it's, like, really, not because you can't love somebody else dearly before you love yourself. It's just that it's very much built up, very much, so much to it. And it's just saying that, there's so much to say about it. So I don't want to just say any, like, all the messages that, or all the phrases, or whatever you want to call them, that most people say, because it's more complicated than that. Just, it's very difficult to love yourself, and it's very difficult to not want to have other people in your life, because we all deserve to have wonderful people in our life, but sometimes you need to just try your best. I mean, if the relationship comes first, then that's what it needs to be for your life, but you have to make this choice on yourself, because sometimes we hold on to relationships too much, and then we should have ended it before, but we decide not to because we're just so dependent on somebody else. So that's what I don't want for anybody or myself, to be dependent on somebody else if you don't need to be. I mean, I understand there's situations that you need to be, and I know they say, like, it's so uncomplicated, they say it like that, to say, no matter what, you need to do it this way. But of course, ideally, you try to, like, be as independent as you can be, but of course, doesn't mean that you can't have people in your life, and it doesn't make you less strong to have the need to have people in your life. So just know that good things will come to you. Just keep on going and know that you're worth, every bit of, anything that you can ever imagine, and that good people will come into your life, and it will happen, but just don't let it be your, like, end all be all, because there's lots of things that you can do in your life that, are they bring so much happiness, and that you will get if that's what you really want, in your life. If you want a romantic relationship, or you just want, it's not just, but, you want a friendship that, actually means something, then, those things are possible, and you just need to keep on going. It's not, something impossible. So it will happen. And so, just like I was saying, so much going on with the Tower card, so we're just going to build on one more card on there, add some more into this reading. I just like going from so many different things, and yet I'm sure they can see that there's connections. They're just built upon each other. So we have the Six of Wands, and it's just like a very pippish card. So but I just remember, it's funny because I just thought about, um, you know, I know it's like you probably know who you are, and it's just like the Six of Wands, just about like victory going on, and that's when I first got on it, and I just noticed that they're like just all stacked upon each other, and they're like the hair, like they remind me of the hairpins, but they're like, of course they're the small, they look so small, but they're actually like, kind of like a staff, but it could be like a wand and everything like that. So, but it just, what I'm seeing is just, it's one of those things. I guess it's like, I don't want to repeat myself again. It's just keep building up on things that you will have victories and getting all the things you need, and it's constantly going on in your life. Like, you're never done. Like, I was reading today, like, your journey never ends. Like, even though there's like the goal of going, if you're like thinking about a mountain and thinking like, oh, it's the goal is to go up to the top, but you never actually get to the top because you constantly keep going. Your journey never ends. Even when our life, our body dies, like, we still go on, whatever you believe. Like, I feel like we still like go on, we still have our spirit, we still continue on with our life just without our body, or I guess there's other situations, but most of us, I mean, if you think of like Babaji, but most of us like continue on to the afterlife, whatever you believe. I'm not going to go into all the different things. Everyone's has their beliefs, and I just see like, I'm still like, okay, I have a lot of different knowledge about it, but it doesn't mean anything, because it's like, it means something, but at the same time I'm just like, it just so much more, like, to say, oh, this is exactly what I believe. It's like, well, I have a lot of different information that I'm saying like, okay, I feel that, obviously, like, just to say as uncomplicated as possible, like, there is, afterlife that we have continue on. I mean, but for me, even if there was no afterlife, it's still, this life is enough. This life is enough for me, and I care about that. This is what's important right now, to not, think about all the other things, just to continue to do our best in this life, and, see it as the precious thing that it is, and to see that we do have victories in our life. And if it feels like, it's not happening, you still have more life to live, and it will get better. It will not just stay the same forever. There's always going to be good times ahead. You just have to keep going, and you can't just give up. So you have to know that even if you have dreams that seem so impossible, or, it just never seems to work out, you have to keep going, because you're never going to know what your potentials are, because there's so many things you can do. And if you decide that you really want to do something else afterwards, like, even if you think, well, what if I do get all the things I want? Well, then you'll make other goals. I don't want to say goals specifically, because it doesn't matter if those specific things happen, but the things that do happen because you took those actions to get to a certain point, and you'll have something that is well worth your effort, because you kept going and you never gave up, and you didn't just say, well, I'll settle for something less. Unless there's times that you get something and it seems like it's less, but maybe you look back in your past and you say, well, actually that needed to happen, because I built it up so I can do this now. And so you just need to realize that, like the Tower card, things build up upon each other. And yeah, I'm just like, oh my goodness. It's all good, but it's just like, at the same time, just, I'm very happy. And yet very embarrassed. But I don't see why I'm embarrassed, but So yes, thank you. Alright, so the battery died on me, so that's what happened, and that's okay. So we were at the end of the message anyways, but I wanted to end it off, popular and say, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for all that you do, whatever it is that you do in your life, like all the things that you do. I think we all deserve a lot more credit for it, so thank you. And thank you for watching this video once again. So thank you, bye!